John chapter 5, verses 1 through 9. Gospel of John chapter 5, verses 1 through 9. Gospel of John chapter 5, verses 1 through 9. Gospel of John chapter 5, verses 1 through 9. This is what the scripture says. Afterward, Jesus returned to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish holy days. Inside the city, near the sheep gate, was the pool of Bethesda, with 5 covered porches. Crowds of sick people, blind, lame, paralyzed, lay on the porches. Verse 5 says, one of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. When Jesus saw him and knew how long he had been ill, he asked him, would you like to get well? I can't, sir, the sick man said, for I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred up. While I'm trying to get there, someone else always gets in ahead of me. Yes, sir. Jesus told him, stand up. Stand up. Pick up your sleeping mat. All right. And walk. Instantly the man was healed. Yes, sir. Rolled up the mat and began walking. This miracle happened on the Sabbath day. Title of today's word is from crawling to walking. Crawling to walking. And I don't want to assume that everybody understands, you got all these new terminology. And so if you look in the Urban Dictionary, it's not Webster. If you look in the Urban Dictionary, it says balling is a term often heard as slang, especially in the black community. Yes, sir. It means to live with affluence, to have wealth. It's sometimes spelled and pronounced with a G, and sometimes not. It is thought to have originated from the term having a ball. Crawling to balling. Now, out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I think whatever God's may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbound. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. Yeah. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. To many Christians, the last statement may seem bold and out of place. I am the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. But I believe it to be theologically sound and accurate. God is God. But it all rides on our choices. God is God. But there's some promises that God made that are dependent on my choices and my actions. If I choose to block it all, doesn't take anything away from God. God is still able. But my choices put me in a place to where I couldn't enjoy the fullness, the blessings of God. I am the master of my fate, and I am the captain of my soul. God would not let any of us perish, but he's not going to make the decision for us. I am the master of my fate and the captain of my soul. Verses 1 through 5. Scripture says, afterward Jesus returned to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish holy days. Inside the city near the sheep gate was the pool of Bethesda with 5 covered porches. Crowds of sick people, blind, lame, paralyzed, lay on the porches. One of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. Y'all get mad at me, but I don't care. Y'all have a president that's always tweeting and talking about being the first. First this and the greatest that. But I thank God that I have enough sense to realize that there is nothing new under the sun.
All right.
This man that we're talking about in this story, he was in a bad place as it relates to his health. But guess what? He wasn't alone. Read verses 2 through 3. They show that he was nice. It says, inside the city, near the sheep gate, was the pool of Bethesda with 5 porches. And then he says, crowds of sick people. Crowds, not a handful. Crowds of sick people were in the same shape that he was in. Lame, paralyzed. They laid out on the porches. Can I tell you, as bad as you may feel and as low as you may fall, please understand that you are not the only one that's been where you are. Because that's what life will do. We'll get in the place and we'll think we're the only one that's ever been down this far. I'm the only one that's ever been through this. This man was in a bad place, and I acknowledge he was in a bad place, but can I tell you something? There were crowds of people in the same place that he was. Lame, blind, and all laying at the porch, waiting for a blessing. Oh, when you're going through, I don't expect you not to acknowledge that you're going through. But let the pity party go. You ain't the only one that's been where you are. And the same God that did it before, based on your choices, might be able to do it again. He can do it, but your choices will determine if he's able to do it again for you. Because you ain't the only one looking for some relief. Crowds of people are going through the same stuff. I think a blow Trump mind if he found out that somebody else did something first that he thought he did first. Or somebody else was greater than he thought he was. You ain't the only one. There are folk that's going through and dealing with what you were dealing with. You ain't that important. Where God just decided to put that specific thing on you and nobody else for all of history. What you're dealing with, somebody, crowds of people have been down the same road. That's important to know. Now, I know that y'all were looking at, well, what they mean by see that footnote in verse 4, so I might have well just explain it to you so you don't leave here trying to see what footnote is. You're still looking for the footnote. So let me explain it to you. Some manuscripts, they add an expanded conclusion to verse 3 and all of verse 4. And they say something like this right here. Y'all heard the story. Where it says crowds of sick people, blind, lame, paralyzed, they lay on the porches. And then in some versions it says waiting for a certain movement in the water. Some say it like this, waiting for an angel of the Lord to come from time to time and stir up the water. And the first person to step in after the water was stirred was healed of whatever the disease was that they had. All versions don't include that, but that's why they was hanging around the water, waiting for the angel to come and stir. And the first one that can get in after the angel stirs can get the blessing. But it was crowds of people in the same position that he was in. Jesus could look at this man. He looked at him and crowds of people waiting. And as Jesus passed by, he looked at this man and he could tell this man had been in that low place for a while, and asked the man one question in verse 6. Do you want to get better? Jesus looked at him and he could tell the man that he could tell the man had been sick for a long time. I tell you, illness can weigh you down. I'm talking about spiritual, I'm talking about financial, I'm talking about health-wise. Illness can weigh you down. Stuff can make you look older than your age says you are. Wife and I was on the campaign trail. We was out at one of the neighborhood little community thing. And a dude came up that I went to school with. What's up, man? What's up, man? What's up? You know, we did the little dance and everything. What's up, man? Everything good, man? Yeah, man. It was one of the young college students that was with us had asked me when he left. He said, you went to school with him? That brother was about 70 years old. Not that 70 old, but 7 years old. I ain't talking 70 years old. But that brother was about 20 years older than me. Life will do that to you. Life will age you. Life will zap the strength out of you. And Jesus looked at this man and he could tell this man had been going through what he had been going through for a while. He says, when Jesus saw him, he knew how long he had been ill. And he asked him one question. Would you like to get well? One question. Would you like to get well? I have a question for all the folk in here that have been knocked to the ground by the vicissitudes of life. I understand the vast and diverse complexities of your circumstances. I understand it. But like Jesus in verse 6, I have one question for you. Do you want to get well? That's all that. You've been in for a long time. I've already told you, you ain't the only one that's been through it. Just one simple question when Jesus came by. He didn't say, how quick can you get in? He asked one question. Do you want to get well?
All right.
In verse 7, this man who's had his legs literally taken up from under him is feeling sorry for himself. And he literally responded to Jesus with this word, with these words. With all due respect, sir, I can't get my blessing. That's from the Rawls version. With all due respect, sir, I can't get my blessing because I need someone else to help me. But everyone keeps taking advantage of me and skipping me in line. Well, some people don't like the Rawls version, so I just read it like I said. Jesus said, do you want to get well? He says, I can't, sir. For I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred up. while I'm trying to get there, someone else always gets in ahead of me. Now I'm going to take you back to the Rawls version. With all due respect, sir, I can't get my blessing because I need someone else to help me get my blessing. But everybody else keep taking advantage of me, sir, and skipping me in line. Do you think he noticed that he never even answered the question? What was the question? The question was, do you want to get well? My wife, she knows. I show all my patience. I try my best, but I'm sure I don't get an A on it, but at least I probably get a B minus. But I try to be patient and show my patience, but my wife knows. And she always helped me out and cover me and get me out of situations where she knows. But she knows that I can't stand asking somebody a question and they got to run all out of left and right. I just ask you one question. Guess what? When I go to the grocery store, I know what I'm going to get. If it's more than 3 things, I'm going to write it on my phone and I'm going to go get what I went to get. If I ask you a question, I need to know about all that other stuff right there. I ain't got time for that stuff right there. I ask you a question, can you give me the answer? I wonder if he even noticed that he never, Jesus said, do you want to get well? Here's what I can't, sir, because I don't have no one. What someone helping you got to do with you wanting to get well?
All right.
What someone skipping you in line got to do with you wanting to do well? He said, did you get well? He said, do you want to get well? Answer is simply yes or no. I don't need all the other talk. The answer is simply yes or no. I wonder if he even noticed that he didn't even answer the question posed by Jesus. Sometimes we can be so absorbed by what we are going through that we can't even hear Jesus trying to work it out. He's trying to work it out. He's ready to work it out. He's able to work it out. He wants to work it out. But we can't even hear him trying to work it out because we are so absorbed in our situation. Do you want to be better? Do you want to get better? Do you want a job? Do you want your own business? Do you want better credit? Do you want a wife? Do you want a husband? Do you want? But the man keeps stopping me. People don't treat, that ain't what I asked you. Ask you how folk treat you. Ask you how folk look at you, how folk like, do you want? Sometimes we can't even hear Jesus trying to work it out because we're so absorbed in our own situation. You ain't the only one that's been through what you've been through. I had to convince myself when my first wife left and took my kids out, and I'm feeling so all alone and bad and in the dark and life just going downhill and life is rough. I had to convince myself I ain't the only one that's done messed up a marriage and messed up a family and now got to suffer for it. I'm not the only one that's been in this place before. I'm not the only one that's had his boats and cars and all of his assets repossessed. I'm not the only one. Because the enemy wants to get me to crawl up in a corner and give up thinking I'm the only one. My mentality, if you can do it, I can do it. But if I don't realize somebody else did it, I'll never know that I can do it. No way in the world somebody else can do it, I can do it. What makes them better than me? If somebody else can achieve, I can do it.
right.
But when I get self-absorbed into my own situation, like I'm the only one that's ever been in this situation, and I got blinders on, all they gotta do is open my eyes and look at all these lame folk.
All right. Come on.
Sitting on the porch trying to get the same blessing I'm trying to get. Now I got a man that's coming and asking me one question. Do I want it? I don't know if any of y'all know this, but on my board outside my office, I hung a big dry erase board on my wall outside my office for everybody to see. Say, speak the solutions and not the excuse. Speak the solution and not the excuse. I'm tired of excuses. We got work to do.
That's right. Amen.
Speak the solution and not the excuse. Jesus said, I got a solution. Do you want to get well? And he's speaking all the excuses he can think of. There's somebody here, if you can get beyond your feelings, that God can bless you right now. Hey, God can, you've been lame for a long time. You've been in mess for a long time. You've been stuck for a long time. But you're looking at yourself. You spending too much time in the mirror. I glance at the mirror before I leave the house. As soon as I see my belly, I get out of it real quick. But if you spend too much time in the mirror, you can't get anything done. Look at it, see what you look like, and then go do what you're supposed to do. Don't spend all your time in the mirror looking at yourself and whatever. Just look at it, look at yourself, then go on about your business. This man, he making excuses, didn't he realize that the solution maker is asking him a question that all he had to do was give an answer to, but instead he's in a pity party feeling bad for himself. In verses 8 through 9, Jesus gave him the answer despite the fact that the man had ignored his question. That's why I love Jesus so much. I love him so much because despite of my ignorance, despite of my inability sometimes to get it right quickly, he still works with me. Jesus didn't just get mad and say, you're ignorant, man. I just asked you a question. See, that's what I like about Jesus. Because with me, I just get frustrated. And I just walk off. And I ain't asked you all that. I just would have walked out. But Jesus, despite him not dealing with the question that was at hand and decisively answering the question, despite his condition, the scripture says in verse 8 through 9 that Jesus gave him the answer to the question despite the fact that the man had ignored his question. Do you want to get better? Jesus listened patiently. Listened to all his excuses about how someone else needed to help him and how other folk keep taking advantage of him. And he gave him the solution for his predicament in verse 8. He says, stand up. Because you missing it. And I'm not going to ever be able to bless you if I got to wait on you to answer this question. You speaking too many excuses, but because I care for you and because I love you, I don't know if you've ever been there before, the way you've just been ignorant and stupid and Jesus trying to work it out, and because I feel bad for myself, it's hard for him to work it out, but he didn't give up on me, he didn't throw me away, he didn't write me off. He said, I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer to the question. He said, stand up, pick up your mat, and walk. That's all Jesus said. Do you want to get well?
sir, I got this problem and I got this problem and people keep getting in the way and people keep getting advantage of me and all this stuff. Okay, so you ain't even gonna get it because you in too deep of a pity party and I ain't got time to wait for you because I want to bless you, because I want to love you, I want to take care of you, I want you to have the promises that I've ordained for you. I got some blessings for you that'll blow your mind, but because you too stuck in a pity party and feeling bad for yourself, I can't get these blessings to you. So I'm not even going to wait on you to answer the question right now. I'm going to give you instructions on what to do. And he says, stand up. I know your problem is that you think you can't stand up, that you need somebody to pick you up. But Jesus says, stand up, pick up your mat. The mat represents the thing that you lay on so that you can stay helpless. The thing that you depend on so that you can stay helpless and dependent on others. See, if you had to lay on that ground down there and you didn't have a mat to lay on, you might not lay down there as long as you've been laying down there. But you got a cabin, you got a mat, or something I call it a crutch that makes it comfortable to lay down there. And he says, so now what you do, because I ain't calling nobody else to help you, because I'll give you the power to help yourself. Yes, I do require others to do right by you. I do require others to have mercy and do justice. But I ain't talking about what I require others. I'm talking about what I can empower you to do. Is there a witness in the house? Somebody say yes. I'll provide relief, but I'll also provide you strength to not depend on the relief or rely on the relief. Somebody say yes. Somebody say yeah. Jesus said, this is what you do. First of all, do something that you haven't done in 38 years. You've been lying down, waiting on somebody else to give you something for 38 years. You're acting like folk owe you, and you've been sitting there for 38 years. He said, now do something that you ain't did for almost 4 decades. Stand up on your feet. Not only do you stand up, but you pick up your mat and go about your business. Somebody say yeah. Somebody say yeah. And the Bible says that automatically in verse 8 and verse 9 that his circumstances that they change just like that. Somebody say yeah. In the movie Forrest Gump, Forrest was celebrated because he rescued several of his comrades, including his superior. Y'all remember him, Lieutenant Dan. Y'all remember Lieutenant Dan. He rescued Lieutenant Dan as they fought in the Korean War. As far as tried to rescue Lieutenant Dan, he belligerently begged to be left for dead. But Forrest saved him anyway. Every now and then we get like Lieutenant Dan. We want to die like our daddy and our granddaddy. God said, no, I'm going to bless you. Somebody say yeah. Somebody say yeah. Everyone, after they were rescued off the island, the survivors were taken to a hospital for days. Lieutenant Dan, he laid there on his bed and in silence. Should have been happy. He could have died on the battlefield, but he was rescued. He could have died on a foreign soil, but he was rescued. But he sat there and laid in the bed in silence. Why? Because his legs were gone and because he wasn't able to die an honorable death in a battle like his father and his grandfather. He was bitter and angry. One night he pulled Forrest out of his bed onto the floor and he said to Forrest, he said, Forrest, you cheated me. I should have died on the field with honor. Now look at me. I'm crippled. I can't use my legs like I used to be a lieutenant. And Forrest replied, you still are Lieutenant Dan. Just because your legs gone does not make you someone else. emotions determine your identity. I'm down right now, but I'm still a conqueror. I'm suffering right now, but I'm still victorious. I'm crying right now, but I'm still blessed and highly favored. Somebody say, yeah. If we are ever to move from surviving to thriving, if we are ever to move from existing to flourishing, if we are ever to move from crawling to balling, I got one question. Do you want to get better? If the answer is yes, stand up, pick up your mat, and walk. Somebody say, yeah. I don't know about you. I've been knocked to the ground and left for dead. Found myself crawling, trying to make it in life. But I chose to stand up, pick up my mat, and walk. I went from crawling to balling. Is there anybody in the house that trusts God to take you from crawling to balling? You ain't the first one. You won't be the last one. There are others, but if you stand up, not making excuses, my God will take you from crawling to balling. Somebody right now might need to praise in advance. You ain't balling, but you see yourself balling. You crawling, but you see yourself balling. Give them a balls, please. Say thank you. Thank you. I'm still going through. I'm still hurt. But I realize that in everything that happens, praise the Lord. Praise your God. I'm praising you because I'm a baller. I'm praising you, but no longer am I a baller. My downfalls don't define me. I'm still blessed. I'm still anointed. I'm still favored. Say yeah. Say yeah. I feel good. I feel like a baller. Give him praise. Give him glory. Say yeah. Say yeah. Are there any ballers in the choir? Are there any ballers in the student section? I dare you to get off your knees and go from crawling to balling. Say yeah. 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 Whoa. To be defined as a pole. When I know that my God created me to be a pole. No longer will I settle for pole. I choose pole. Come on, let's give God a hands up and praise. As we stand to our feet, if you need to be to this altar, you need to give God your life, come to this altar and kneel down. If you need to recommit your life to Christ, come to this altar and kneel down. If you need a church home that can help you move from a place of crawling to a place of falling, and you're ready to choose St. Paul today, come and kneel down at this altar. If you just sick or tired of crawling and ready to walk into your moment of falling, you come and kneel down at this altar. The altar is open. Come now. Come now, come now, come now, come now. The altar is open. The altar is open. Come now. Come now, come now. The altar is open. Come now. Kneel at the altar. Kneel at the altar if you're able. Kneel at the altar if you're able. Are there more? Are there more? The altar is open. God says you better than a state of crawling. Crawling was only supposed to be for a moment. But you started feeling sorry for yourself when you got stuck in a place of crawling. God says, no, I allowed you to go to the crawling because I wanted to take you to a place of falling. But you allowed your value to define you. You're still my child. I still love you. I still care for you. I still wish the best for you. Are there more? Are there more before I begin to pray to my brothers and my sisters? Are there more? Are there more? Are there more? This is your opportunity.